My friend's wedding is happening at the same time as my yearly trip to India, and I don't think I can make the ceremony.
Just clone yourself.
Simple solutions. This is my first Reddit post, so I'm clearly desperate for some advice. Sorry for how long this is. Me and my best friend, both female 30, have been best friends since the 5th grade. We met in elementary school and remained friends for 25 plus years through all the ups and downs. There were times when we were less in touch in the beginning of our friendship, but ever since about 15 years ago, we are each other's ride or die. By the way, this comes from user densepattern42 on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, I've arguably made some life choices where friends were not my priority. I've been traveling full time and living a very hectic lifestyle for about 10 years now. Truth be told, I felt extremely secure in our friendship. I knew that we've got each other on literally the same level as family. I knew I had her and I didn't need much more, especially knowing that I don't have the capacity to maintain too many friendships. I ended up making more friends later on in life, but even though we're close, it's not the same as my friendship with her, and this will be important later. She does have many other friends, but her relationship towards me has always been a priority number one. We've always been honest with each other, whether it's unpleasant feedback or making sure the other one feels secure in the friendship. One last piece of context, we are both Europeans and grew up in the same town, but we moved abroad pretty early out of school. She's been living with her partner in another European country for about 6 years now, and I've been gone for 10 years, in and out of Europe, Asia, etc.
Got it.
OP's just like a globetrotter.
Yeah. Gonna see everything.
So our friendship has been long distance for a while, but somehow it seems to have made it stronger. Now, the current situation. Her boyfriend has always been a little apprehensive towards marriage, which was a bit difficult for her as she's quite a traditional person and didn't want to have kids or make big commitments before getting married. She's convinced him to get married about 6 or 7 months ago. She managed to communicate why marriage is so important to her, and he said okay, they can get married, but he doesn't care for it all that much. As a friend, I feel a little sad that she wasn't made to feel more special about this. I think she deserves to feel that he's obsessed with her and can't wait to marry her, but it's up to her to assess whether she's getting that feeling via a different gesture, so it's fine. I've met her partner a few times, and we were always friendly, though she once slipped and told me he had said something racist about my husband.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Like enough.
Oh no.
I'm not, never mind.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I was about to say.
Like, was it a fun way? No. I told her how much that hurt me, and she apologized profusely, saying that the context was different and that she effed up on how she told the story.
What?
It will stay with me, but if someone knows what it's like to say things too abruptly and miss the mark, it's me. So I chose to let it go. But for transparency, I think it's good to give you the context on why I'm watching him more closely than I usually would. Fast forward to the wedding situation. They decided that they'll get married about 7 months ago in April-ish. She called me immediately and started planning with me, bouncing ideas. She wanted to make sure that they're married sometime between the 2 summer seasons, basically between November 2024 and March 2025. The first thing she told me is that the only non-negotiable is me. She wanted me to be her witness, our alternative to maid of honor, I believe. She was playing around with many scenarios, eloping with only witnesses, renting out a villa for 20 people, regular large wedding, etc. There were scenarios where she was open to eloping without her parents or brother as well. The only thing that was never negotiable for her was me.
So you have to be there.
You are a firm requirement. If your friend is really being like the one and only thing, is you have to be there.
I don't
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but I'm going to be there.
But like, you'd want to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. Don't worry.
I don't think there's any reason you wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I kept asking her whether they managed to finalize the date at least once a week ever since they agreed to get married, and I told them the exact dates that I'll be out of the continent, November and December. We go visit my husband's family in India every year for 2 months. I told her I'm happy to buy a new ticket regardless of the cost in case her wedding is in the first 2 weeks or the last 2 weeks of my planned trip to India. I wouldn't be able to make it right in the middle, but otherwise, I'm totally there. I also told her that if she ends up going with some wedding scenario where I'm not there either, it's okay. Remember, she was considering not having anyone, not even her parents. I just wanted to support her no matter what she wanted to do. Time went on, my flight tickets were booked, my $2,000 tickets for a festival with my friends in India were booked too. Meeting friends at this festival is the only other reason, other than family, why we go to India in the first place.
Got it.
And in the middle of October, she told me they finally got the dates, and it is dead in the middle of my trip.
Which is fine for OP.
Oh, she was like, if you decide on a scenario in which I'm not there,
Yeah.
I will be fine.
Yeah,
But
and that's
she
a scenario.
wants to go.
That's a scenario.
She literally told her the only time you can't do it is in the middle of my trip. And she even had the concession of like, I'll fly beginning or end, just not in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll uproot the trip. I'll screw up the trip, just not in the middle of it.
Not in the middle.
It's dead in the middle of my trip during the weekend of my festival. I told her that that's unfortunately not going to be possible for me as it's a 7-week notice, and it's simply not fair to ask me to cancel an event that she knows is really important to me and super expensive.
Yeah.
I know it sounds goofy, but having friends all around the world, you really only get to meet your people when you plan an event together. And this is where I meet my friends on this continent. She says that she sees my point of view, but it has to happen on this date before the end of the year because all of her family, her aunts and uncles she decided to invite last minute would not be able to have fun at the location as the shops shut down between January and March. So December is their only option.
Fun. Nice.
You have to do it though, because my family can't go shopping.
They'll just put it after March.
Since she's asking them to fly to a different European country, which is about a 90-minute flight, it's not fair that they don't get to turn it into a vacation for themselves. The second reason why they decided with such short notice is because he didn't have time to help her decide how they want the day to look and look at venues, etc. This is why I hold this against him a little bit. As you can see in my mentions of him above, I might be the a-hole for this too. She said that she'd pay for my round trip ticket from India to Europe. I'd be there about 48 hours and I'd go right back. Mind you, this is at least 18 hours on the road for me one way, including layovers, and the fact that the airport is a 5-hour drive from my house in India. I said no, I can't cancel on my friends after a full year of planning this festival. And I'm not willing to go around the world for 48 hours either, as I was always transparent with my dates. Plus, it's not like her reasoning is screaming urgency to me anyway. She said she understands, but let's not discuss it and pretend it's not real because it makes her sad.
Aww.
You know what else will make me sad?
What's that?
If you don't join us when we go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap on our profile.
Tap it.
So it sounds like to me that her friend is sort of trying to make the best of it, being like, wow, this really sucks. Let's just ignore it so it doesn't make me too sad.
Yeah.
But it sounds like most of this might actually be on the fiance.
I agree with you on the fiance part.
Now it's 2 weeks before the wedding, and I'm heartbroken. This is one of the utmost important people in my life. So what do I do? Am I the a-hole for not being willing to go? I don't think I could respect myself if I ended up going. It just feels so unfair. And most importantly, how do I make sure I can keep a straight face and help her enjoy this day somehow? Even though I want to cry every time I think about it. I can't even bring myself to talk to her right now.
Dang.
Oh, so some real advice I think would be like,
do a little fun girls trip, a little bachelorette party before you leave.
Yeah, you could do, that's actually great. I wasn't thinking that at all, but that's great.
Yeah.
Doing something just like on the side that would allow you guys to like really have a good bond.
Yeah.
Pre-wedding. I don't really know what specifically you would do.
You guys know. They know. They're
But
friends.
you know, yeah, because you've been friends for 25 years.
That, and then also OP have a gift for her at her wedding that's really special to her. And then like, it's like, you're already there.
Oh, I can't imagine. I'm sure OP already has a gift.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that she doesn't. But
yeah, it's tough.
we love you.
And see you tomorrow.